The Statue of Liberty, one of the most recognizable sights in the world, marking America's birth. She is the protector of the city, and today she will serve as the beacon under which we jump the 12th Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of the season. We have been away from New York for far too long, and now in 2025 we finally make our return stateside, and we make our return to New York City. And what better way to kick off the show, what better way to get ready for today's Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix than with a local hero in Spencer Smith, who makes his way into the studio to have a conversation, a former Longines Global Champions Tour winner himself, and he joins us to have a catch-up. Spencer, it has been very long. We have missed you. Welcome back. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, it's great to be back. Great to be back stateside on a global tour show. And I did a couple this year, but I've been doing quite a bit over here as well. So nice to be kind of home with all the people I know so well, and this tour that kind of made my career, and it's so nice.
Nice support that it's come out today, hopefully, for you? Got
Absolutely,
some friends, family?
Yeah. I got a friend's family around here, and obviously I ride for Georgina Bloomberg's team, and then for her own personal stable at home. I'll be riding her horse today in the Grand Prix. Her family has so much history in this city, and it's kind of special for all of us.
A winner back in Summerine a couple of years ago. What memories do you have of that when you reflect back on that LGCT Grand Prix?
Yeah, just looking back on that was really put me onto the kind of the world stage. I felt for that night, and one of the greatest nights in my career, and just so fun, and all the riders, and that's kind of what makes it, all the riders and the people behind it, and just we had such a nice time there. So
did it feel like a real springboard moment of the career? Did it feel like it was a catapult moment for you?
It did. It was kind of a goal achieved type of thing to win a 5-star Grand Prix on the tour. Something everyone would really like to do, for sure.
Let's talk about today. Qualifying was outstanding. Take me through that qualifying, because not only do you start very late today, and we'll talk about Cassina in a moment, but give me some thoughts on how qualifying went.
Yeah, the qualifying was great. I think I did just what we wanted to do. We made the plan. We weren't going to push it too much for the win, but be right in there. Nice, solid round, and it's what we did. So
let's talk about Cassina, because from what we saw, looked very smooth, very comfortable. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, Cassina's a terrific horse. Honestly, I'm just very lucky. I'm kind of reaping the work that Georgina and her training program has done with the horse. They've had the horse for a good while now, and I've only started this year because she was having a baby, and so they welcomed Scarlett, her baby, in this year, but letting me still keep riding the horse, which is very nice. And yeah, I was just given the reins, and she's amazing, incredible horse. We've jumped a lot of big clear rounds now, and I think today she could really do something special.
Course walk will get underway in a few moments' time, so we know we haven't walked the course, but talk to me about, for people that aren't quite aware of what it's going to be like today, what would you advise? What are you expecting? What do you think is going to come out in a ring like this today?
Yeah, this is it's a small ring. At the end of the day, it's tight jumping. Things will come up really quick. Big jumps, very careful, light material, so the rails will fall easily. It's difficult. It'll be very difficult. She's a really big horse, but really adjustable, and I hope they build big today. She's very scopy, and whatever we throw at her, she's happy to take it on.
Are there lessons to take out of qualifying that may be applicable here today?
Yeah, I think stay on the rhythm. This ring rides well if you have a little bit of pace with you. So that seemed to work out. The people that went for it a little bit seemed to have good rounds. So I'll do that for sure. Get into the corners, stay off the front rail, and enjoy it.
Spencer Smith and Cassina will be coming out very late today after a great qualifying. 35th to go, in fact. And hopefully there's going to be an American fairy tale for Spencer Smith here today. Already an LGCT Grand Prix winner in Summerine a couple of years ago. The time is now. The horse, the qualifying, the rider, all make for a perfect opportunity for Spencer Smith to once again be crowned a Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix winner. Is that going to be the case today? There are 40 outstanding riders that are all competing for today's big prize. We'll find out by the end of the night. Speaking about the location, speaking about where we find ourselves today, there's no surprise, of course, Lady Liberty in the background showing us exactly where we are. We decided to send Rosie Turner out to give us some perspective on what it's like to make her way from where she is into this incredible arena here at Liberty State Park. Let's let Rosie take you on a bit of a tour guide through New York City.
A few weeks ago, we were travelling to the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix on the River Thames in London. This weekend, we've hopped across the pond, and we are now travelling to the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix on the Hudson River in New York City. The Hudson River is a 350-mile long river through New York City, and I couldn't resist jumping on the ferry to just do a little bit of the Hudson River on the way to the show. And here it is, the Statue of Liberty. You cannot get more iconic than this. It's been here since 1886. It arrived dismantled and had to be re-put back together on Liberty Island. Now, from our show this weekend, you'll be able to see the Statue of Liberty. I just wanted to get a little closer to it myself, considering we're here in New York City. Why not come and visit the most iconic statue? The Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix will have Lower Manhattan as its backdrop. Now, I know it looks like a postcard, but I promise you, we are here and it is just stunning. The show is packed out. It is a sold-out show. The world's media is there. Everyone is going to be there. It really is the place to be. So I think it's time we head to the show.
All right, Rosie, let's do it. We are here, we are ready, we are standing by. And I'll tell you what as well, the riders, by the way, are standing by for the course walk just over my right-hand shoulder. A lot of them are gathering here. I see some Weishaupt brothers. I see Sascha Nygaard is hanging around. I see Jérôme Guéry. I see a Marcus Eining, all getting ready for this course walk that's about to get underway in a few moments' time. Mentioning a few of those German riders are the Weishaupt brothers. Marcus Eining, Marco Kutscher is there as well. There's the bell for course walk. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's reflect on what took place in the previous stage. Let's remind you what happened at the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Riesenbeck.
Welcome to the Longines Global Champions Tour 2025. The next stop, this stop, Riesenbeck in northwest Germany. The aforementioned Harry Schmolders into the arena. As here he goes, starting with what was fence 8 first time. As he comes back and now heading towards the final fence, and he does go clear in 48.78. Ping Pong van der Lentemel is into the arena, ridden by Gerrit Nyberg. So a real opportunity for here for this very likable 10-year-old. Does that well, looking at the time. Is he going to be inside Harry Schmolders' time? I think he probably could be, and he is. The climax time now. It's all on our next rider. Petter Fredriksson will want to be a party pooper here. A little down, it's here on in. He's got a charge now. Has he done enough? The time is 46.99 that he has to beat. Is it going to be inside the time? I don't think it is. We have a German winner.
Yeah, difficult to find the right words now. I'm more than happy with him, how everything worked out and how he jumped and everything. Yeah, like I said, it's an amazing horse, and I'm happy to be standing here now.
An incredible result for Gerrit Nyberg, who wins on German soil. Is there going to be such a fairy tale for an American rider by the end of the afternoon? Is someone from the USA going to win here in New York? Wouldn't that be a wonderful, wonderful way to wrap up for the home fans here, to have a local rider go on and be crowned champion of New York 2025. But when you have the likes of Gilles Thomas, the current championship leader, when you have Philipp Weishaupt, when you have Marcus Eining, when you have fantastic riders that find themselves on the start list of the best 40 of the entire weekend, it is going to be one heck of a challenge. Scott Brash, last to go at qualifying, was outstanding. Nicola Philipparts, beautifully ridden in the Global Champions League to win with the Stockholm Hearts. He will be a threat. But this is what the ranking looks like after that stage in the Riesenbeck. We talk about a championship leader. Gilles Thomas continues to lead. Christian Kukuk in second. Andreas Skau and Simon de Lestre, who's lost a little bit of ground after failing to make a few qualifiers, but now he is trying to climb his way back up. Michael van der Vleuten, current champion Max Kuhne, now inside the top 6, and Scott Brash has a lot of scores still to collect. You can expect him to climb today and throughout the back end of the season as well. And let's not forget Natalie Dean there, local rider, local American rider, now in 10th place, and she too has a couple of scores to go before she gets to her final tally of 8. And we'll tell you about that now as well, just to give you some perspective, because in order to win a Longines Global Champions Tour season, it is not just about who rides the most, because that would be quite easy. Just ride all the events, collect as many points as possible, and win. It's about collecting the best 8 scores of the season. That is where the trick lies in winning the Longines Global Champions Tour. Once you go beyond 9, 10, 11, and 12, and so on, of course, you're allowed to ride more than 8, but you will only improve upon your worst score. So, to clarify, in order to win the Longines Global Champions Tour season, your best 8 scores will go against the next best 8 scores, and the rider with the most points out of their best 8 LGCT Grand Prix will be crowned champion of 2025. As it stands, that man is Gilles Thomas. The Belgian has been almost untouchable in 2025. Having already won a Grand Prix this year, he will look to try and add more points to his tally. We caught up with his groom to get some insight from Sanne Melson.
Hi, I'm Sanne Melson. I work for Gilles Thomas, and I'm here in New York this week, and I have Luna and Calista with me. Gilles is very much in the spotlight now. Working for Gilles is a bit like having constant pressure, but I must say, for now, the horses are feeling really well, so let's hope we can keep up for quite a bit longer. Her second place in Shanghai really meant a lot to me, for sure also to him.
Gilles Thomas now accelerates down to the final fence with a real gallop, and he sees a brilliant stride. 1.95 seconds is the advantage. He salutes his man.
That mare always gives so much, so yeah, things like that is what we do it for. Okay, I should not have favorites, but at this one, I've been there, like she's basically one of the first horses I took care of for Gilles, so with this one it is a bit of a special connection. I give my life for them. Horses like this one, yeah, she's my best friend. I think we all knew it was a very nice horse, but if you see how fast she's stepping up, I think she's exceeding expectations, especially for me. So that's fair. That's the nice part of the tour, like to see how the horses are growing. And the winning in front of the Eiffel Tower with Hermitage, it was his first. I hope not his last, but that also meant a lot. Like, it was a huge step up. The horse really deserved it, so pinch me.
Gilles Thomas is going to win the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Paris this afternoon. And the young master explodes into his second Longines Global Champions Tour.
For the show here in New Jersey, they took the plane here, which is for them my horses, and I can say about the whole flight, they all traveled really well. I was on the plane with them. Packing for a show like this, it's not always easy because it's show after show after show, so it's a bit looking like which stuff I can already give. Sometimes he needs to take a bridle or something in the plane with him because he needed it the week before. Okay, now this week, thank God it was not like this because I had a weekend off last week. I could fly with the horses. For now, I think I have everything packed. I didn't have to ask any of the colleagues for a brush or something like that, so let's hope the weekend stays like that, and then a good start of the week so far. I don't think I really have to take care of the rider. I mostly like to take care of the horses. I do see small things in Gilles that he, like before an important competition, he likes to just take a bit of time on his own. He steals my chair and he's like just putting on his headphones, looking at some videos from good rounds before, looking at some like things he can improve, or that's a bit of his ritual, and I try just to not interfere with him. I also know at that time I just have to leave him alone. I try to make Gilles' life as easy as possible, that he can just come to the stable, and I hope he just has to basically focus on what he has to do in the ring. And I feel like if he can do that, I think I did my part of the job, and then the rest is up to him and them. If Gilles would win the championship, it would be like quite a reward for all the hard work and the effort that all of the horses are putting in, himself is putting in. And well, let's see. Of course, I hope that he wins. It would be a very nice reward. And let's see. I mean, I would also always like to get the Longines at the end of the year.
Coursewalk officially underway as we hear from Sanne Melson, the groom of the current Longines Global Champions Tour season leader in Gilles Thomas. The young man has been sensational in 2025, and he is arguably just a few stages away from winning the biggest season title of his still young career. Question is now, is there going to be a twist in this tale? Because I'll give you some feedback. Over the last couple of years, the Longines Global Champions Tour has been decided on the final day, and that makes drama. That is the storytelling, that is the script writing that we love and beg for, to have a final day season title decider. Gilles Thomas won't want that. He want to wrap this up well before we get to Riyadh. But Christian Kukuk has a lot of scores still to go. Scott Brash can be a threat if he continues to jump more events throughout the rest of the year. It is not done and dusted for Gilles Thomas just yet. But the young Belgian is here, by the way, and is competing and has qualified very well. And another good performance today will start to make that very difficult for those in and around him to try and catch up. Let's talk about a very impressive rider in the likes of Natalie Dean. Inside the top 10 of the LGCT season rankings, an American rider back on home soil. We took some time to catch up with Natalie Dean. So Natalie, as a world traveller, to finally be able to come back stateside, you were miles away from the West Coast where you are from, but still stateside nonetheless. Thoughts on coming back and being able to jump in the US?
Yeah, it's amazing. I spent all summer in Europe, but it's really nice to be back on home soil and really feel the American crowd behind me.
Talk to me about the 2025 season, because now inside the top 10 of the Longines Global Champions Tour rankings, I want to know, was this part of the plan? Did you set a plan, an ambitious plan like that to be able to break into that? How are you feeling about where you find yourself right now?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I really have to thank my team behind me. The Iron Dames are huge supporters of women in this sport, so for them to be behind me and also my team at home, my boyfriend Gavin and my trainer Jos Lansing have been a huge part of my success this year, and I think the horses have been really consistent, and I'm really happy.
You still have a handful of scores to go before you get to your limit of 8 scores, so the irony is that you probably can and will climb a lot higher than where you are now. Was that the ambition? Did you come into the season with the goal as a top ranked certain number, or is it kind of just go with it as it goes?
Yeah, I think we really take the season and try to plan the best horses for each Grand Prix, and we've had quite a bit of success, but we still have 2 more big Grand Prix, and hopefully we can keep climbing the rankings.
Talk to me about what you've learned in the week, being here with the Iron Dames team, being able to jump in the GCL. Were there lessons to take out for today's Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix?
Yeah, the team is always super supportive. We feel the team not just at the shows but also around us. We're always following each other's results, and I think that's what Deborah does, and she really promotes this family attitude and supports all of the riders in the team, and I think it really helps us having that support behind us, and I think it's just a testament of what the Iron Dames means.
I think it'll be a fairy tale story to have you come and join us in the studio later today, so best of luck for today's LGCT Grand Prix.
Thank you. Natalie
Dean having a word with us in the build-up to today's LGCT Grand Prix. I have a feeling that Natalie Dean is going to climb even higher, by the way, on the overall rankings. Currently in 10th. Another good result here in New York today. Qualified well. She'll be after the halfway point on crescendo. She collects more points today. She's got a long way to go until she gets to her 8. She can indeed climb. The question now becomes, when you take a look at the start list, it does look very difficult to try and find a clear-cut winner. There are a lot of favorites, some fantastic riders, great horses, exciting young horses. The reason why my job is so easy is that I'm not the guy that has to do that. I bring Rupert Bell in to do that, to make the difficult calls, to give us the difficult information. Rupert, a start list of the 40 best riders of the weekend. Take me through some of your favorites. Take me through who you think stands out.
I mean, I know we can't move the camera here, but I got my hieroglyphics down here, which is hopefully full of sensible notes. Looking amongst the early starters, I mean, I probably haven't gone out on a limb here, but Jessica Springsteen horse is a winner, having won in London before. I know she hasn't had a great weekend here, but I just think, can't discount her.
Speaking of early starters, may I interrupt you? And I hope to be proven wrong with this statistic. Last year in Shanghai, when Gilles Thomas won his very first LGCT Grand Prix, was number 1 on the start list, jumped clear, went into the jump-off, was number 1 in the jump-off, and won the whole thing. Well, okay. So, it happens. Magic happens here. It does not mean we have to go far down.
I tell you what, if Ines Joly wins on her horse, that will be an improvement in form. The horse is worthy of a place here, but I think the combinations coming later may have a chance. Now, some of the others that I obviously immediately go, you've got to try and block out Scott Brash, I think, in a way, and say he is the overwhelming favourite. Just look how well that horse went to come home and win earlier in the week in the Global Champions League, and he just scorched around this arena. I've seen Scott walking around eyeing up a possible 3rd win with this horse in the Grand Prix circuit this year. But elsewhere, there is so many good combinations. Gregory Waterloo's been in good form. Won the first ever Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in 2007, and he's still going strong. He's having a good weekend here. Gilles Thomas, you've mentioned, this 9-year-old. How does he just produce these things at 9 years age?
He's only 9-year-old. This is the scary thing, is he has multiple 9-year-olds. It almost feels like he just flips a coin and decides which one to do. Nicola Philipparts on the GCL. Rupert was outstanding. He now brings his 9-year-old Gadget Mouche as well. We are at a point where these riders are developing so much, so quickly, so early. It feels like the world of equestrian is changing in front of our eyes.
Yeah. Now, aside from that, obviously we are in America, and I was looking through, and I suddenly thought, well, I haven't been. This is my first time coming to America to watch show jumping live in the flesh here. But I have to say, Mimi Gochman is a very interesting young rider. Again, she was voted the Young Rider of the Year a couple of years back. She's doing well. I've been so impressed with the way she's gone about her business this weekend. So I can easily see her putting on a bold showing, along with Natalie Dean, who I think was going well and has been putting in solid performances. But that's not a surprise. Spencer Smith, I think, obviously, he's a Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix winner, and I'm sure he'll have a point to prove. So I do expect a strong American challenge, and obviously this crowd will be whooping and hollering because this is a big 2 weeks of sporting time in New York at the moment, so they might get them fired up here if Americans start going well.
Take a look at the previous stage. We just had a German rider winning in Riesenbeck. There is enough American quality here to suggest that there is a possibility of an American repeating that feat here.
Yeah, and it would be great. Obviously, we're back in New York, and it would just sort of, really cement what has been a lovely weekend. I mean, what a backdrop. This is, the arena is set fair. I think we're in for a terrific competition. But I do say it may be Scott Brash's day. New York Empire Man, home favourite in terms of team, but just his form this year has been outrageous, and this is such a fabulous horse. But I think we're going to get a lot through into the jump off, so that is going to be a thriller minute. So I can promise you an afternoon of thrills, and hopefully no spills.
All right, you'll be taking us through every moment, by the way. Rupert Bell will be commentating for us this afternoon. He'll be taking us through from rider number 1 all the way through to rider number 40. Speaking of the crowd in hope of an American victory today, as you can imagine, there was a really, really big turnout today. In fact, the grandstands that are alongside us here are completely full. We decided to send Rosie Turner out and try and catch up with some fans to get their thoughts and energy on today's atmosphere.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I actually thought I'd come out of the main arena today and come into the grandstand and chat to a few of these fans. And actually, as I was walking up, these guys all waved at me, going, come over here. And there's good reason, because we've got aspiring show jumpers here. Tell us how excited you are about today.
Really, really excited.
What are you most looking forward to?
Seeing Jessica Springsteen.
Are we all on Jessica Springsteen today?
Yes.
I wonder why that is.
We want to see your dad. We want to see Bruce Springsteen.
I have heard that he is going to be in VIP, so do watch out for that. We've got some big names in VIP today. You guys are looking forward to this as well. Have you been to one of these shows before?
Never.
So you don't know what to expect yet?
No.
Who are you else looking forward to seeing apart from Jessica?
Mimi? Yeah.
Yeah, all the American riders, of course. These guys are all aspiring riders. Kind of shows like this, how much do they important to make, younger children up and coming?
It's great inspiration for these kids. Some of them are jumping almost meter 30 now, so it's good inspiration for them. And to watch the horse and rider competitions, they learn a lot from the way that the riders ride and deal with the pressure.
Do you have a favorite rider that you want to aspire to be like, or is it just Jessica?
Mostly just her.
What is it about Jessica that you love?
She's just like a really good rider, and she just like knows how to handle the situations.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know what? In this arena, you need to know how to handle situations because it is a big arena. It's a great atmosphere. You guys have been sat here for a while making sure that you've got the best seats in the house. How much have you been looking forward to this in the weeks coming up to it?
Oh, we've had our tickets since May, so we've been counting down the days till we get here.
Listen, I'm glad that you're here. Enjoy your time. It's rather nice here, and there seems to be this seat for me. I know this is someone else's seat, but I might just stay here, Mark, if that's okay. I can stay. There we go. I've got an invitation. I'm staying here. See you later.
I'll tell you what, that little spot in the shade, to be able to sit there with Lady Liberty behind you and watch a 5-star show here on the Longines Global Champions Tour. Rosie Turner, I might even just come and meet you there. It looks like an outstanding position. Very nice to have some young fans keeping an eye, understandably, on Jessica Springsteen. What a talent, what a fan favorite she is. Hopefully she can make it into the jump-off today, and that will be a wonderful story later on this afternoon. Let's get an idea as to what has been built. You've been seeing the course walk taking place behind me. It has now been designed. Let's get some thoughts and some reaction. Let's hear from Emily Conter.
As also said, thank you, Mark. As much as I was enjoying being in the grandstand with all the fans, I thought I should probably come into the arena, and I've caught up with Emily Conter here. It's great to be here again. Your debut was in London. You're now back here in New York City. How has the weekend been for you so far?
It's been good so far. I had a placement yesterday, and my mare jumped incredible on day one, so hopefully we can keep going like that.
It's a big class today. We've got the LGCT Grand Prix. You've just had a look at the course. Overall, what are you thinking?
I think they've been putting the whole week already like really good courses fair to the horses and to the riders, but delicate enough. So here the same thing. It's quite a delicate Grand Prix, and there's some here and there where you can get a rail. So I'm looking forward to jumping this.
I spoke to Eduardo Asner as well, and he said that everything's going to come quite quickly in this course.
It is. It's going to come quite quickly because the ring is a little bit smaller. It's bigger than I'm used to, so it's going to be tight turns and keeping the rhythm going.
Well, you've kindly let us walk a line with you. This is line 5, 6 and 7. To me, it almost looks like a triple. They come so quickly, but it's very much not a triple. They're individual fences.
Yeah, I chose this line because it's quite delicate, because we start here out of the turn with a plank, which you have to slow down a little bit for, and then here it's 4 strides to a Liverpool oxer.
Let's walk it.
Yeah.
So as Emily walks this, we'll just see how tight this 4 strides is. As she said, you've got to be quite careful coming into those planks there and got to slow up a little bit. But then you've got to have enough power to reach over this oxer here, Emily.
Yes, and this oxer also, the colors, it's like light blue. It's a bit difficult for the horses to judge sometimes with the Liverpool underneath. So you got to keep them spaced and keep enough leg around to finish the back rail. And after that, there's again a short 5 to again a light-colored vertical that's very delicate and a bit skinnier than the other fences.
So if you land over this, we'll walk around it, but if you land over this quite far away and you have a bit of, you've got too much, you're going to have to really hold for the next fence.
Yes, exactly. And my mare also, she jumps left, so she's going to drag me a little bit deeper than usual, so I have to make sure I hold her good right and really steady back and give her space and not too much speed for the vertical.
Well, let's talk about your mare for a second, because not having too much speed is quite tricky with her. She's very young, she's very feisty, but wow, has she made an impression on the tour so far?
Yeah, to be honest, she's nothing more but amazing. I just love her, and we really work well together. We know each other so well, so it's, like you said, she's feisty, she has a lot of speed. I have to keep the speed going, but I have to take it out as well for the verticals to give her the time to jump up to me as well.
You're relatively early in the class to go. Do you watch anyone else? Is there anyone that you sort of inspires you and you watch the course with?
No, I will just watch the first two go, because I know my mare, she has a little bit of a shorter stride, so I have to ride up a little the lines. And I just see if it walked like we did, like if it looked like we walked. So that's what I'm going to look at.
Well, no pressure, but since we've seen your mare, you've had 4 rounds in the whole of the tour, and she's only ever had 1 fence down. So she's on pretty good ground at the moment, I have to say.
Yeah, she's on super form. So I hope I can give her the ride she needs, and let's hope for the best.
Good luck, Emily. We're going to let you go because I know you've got to go and prepare. That's yes. Emily Conter. It's going to be quite the course today for the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. I've spoken to a couple of riders, as I said. Eduardo Asner said that this is going to come thick and fast. Inez also said it walks really nicely, but it's very technical and it can be very flimsy as well. And often when we do hear that it walks nicely, it can ride trickier. It almost catches the rider's outmark.
All right, Rosie Turner, thank you very much. And thank you very much to Emily Conter as well, giving us some thoughts and some reaction to what to expect from today's course walk. Ladies and gentlemen, the 12th Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of the season is about to get underway. We have the best 40 riders here, all in New York, in search of today's title. Let's go on and watch today's LGCT Grand Prix of New York.
With Daniel Deusser, the previous winner. Ben Mayer was a winner back in 2019, but neither here this week. But we may not have those two, but such a strong lineup of riders will be battling for honours here in New York in the Liberty State Park. It is, I say, a great venue just in New Jersey. There is the Statue of Liberty, the cruise ships, boats up and down the waterway here throughout, but this famous landmark built back in the late 19th century, celebrating 100 years of independence, built by the French, and there will be some French riders hoping to grab the spoils here. But we're looking at the overall rankings, and Gilles Thomas is here hoping to consolidate his position at the top of the leaderboard. But Scott Brash is one who I'm sure will be trying to eye up a third victory with his mount this afternoon. Others in action up near the top: Natalie Dean representing the home challenge, Sophie Hinners, Marcus Enning, they're all in action here. Dennis Lynch as well, and Nicola Philipparts, who's having a great weekend here in America, will have high expectations of having a good finish in the Grand Prix. Well, that's looking back over, and we now look at the course in detail that has been set in this special venue here in New York. Look at the course that has been designed. Jump off, of course, as usual, and this is where they start, just by the in-out gate, and then there's a run to the second, a private fence with planks underneath, jumping that, and then coming round to fence number 3. It's a roll back to this Olympic Bridge in Liverpool, and then a run to the first double, and coming through to it, you see quite a big spread as they come to 153 in, but a big spread of 160, and then it is a one stride double to the upright out at 155, and then a turn back big 180-degree turn back to the sky blue fence. That wall will be testing. Then moving to the next, another of the Liverpools, and then to 7, and then it will be a turn back to 8 as they continue on. This particular oxer, again, looking quite meaty with a spread of 160, and then related distances, 6 strides to the combination, and they come in 1 stride into the first part, a height of 155, 1 stride, and then it's 2 strides for to come out of the combination. Again, a big spread in the middle part, so you're going to have to keep going. 2 strides to the final part of fence 9, the C part, and then turning round. It is a big loop back to the upright, coming round to fence number 10, and then down by in front of the VIP tent, 2 fences. That's a big spread, and then another Manhattan wall fence. That's fence number 12, beautifully presented, and then it is round to the final fence, and that is the course that has been set. Looks as if one, you've got to keep it going, and can they bounce off the ground and get those all-important clears to book their place in the jump-off. There is our course designer just overseeing final details. Ferry boats all over the place. We've seen cruise ships, some most vast moving cities almost, but the ferries and people enjoying the September sunshine here in New York. Well, it's going to be, I think, a fascinating competition, particularly for some out to prove. There's a strong American contingent, but we get underway with Ines Joly will be first to go. Trevor Breen, been representing New York Empire. Some of the other Marcus Enning hasn't had a great weekend, but Flower Girl just had a good confidence boosting round yesterday, might be in the mix. Jessica Springsteen will have big supporters here. This is a horse that has won with Jessica a Longines Global Champions Tour, actually winning in London. And then some of the other names, Thibaut Philippart making his Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix debut. Natalie Dean been so good, consistent. Sophie Hinners likewise been consistent. And Nicolas Philippart, what an exciting horse he's got in Gadget Mouche. Won't be far away, I'm sure. And the final line of riders that includes our leader, Gilles Thomas, and Scott Rash. Will it be the sound of the British national anthem ringing around? But before we get underway, the crowd rise to their feet. Here is the United States national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
the national anthem always begins at the United States sporting event, and there the singer Maya Nurley Higginson regaling the crowd here in the Liberty State Park with the national anthem. And now the crowd can settle down to enjoy the afternoon's competition here, the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. And now, bang on cue, the first combination coming forward. She's a Longines Global Champions Tour winner back in Monaco last year, but she is opening up proceedings here on her 10-year-old bay, Crack Degui, and just snuck in. Didn't have a great day on Friday and is yet to jump clear at 160, but you never know. You've got to find a way of getting clear first time, and it is surely such a talented young French rider. And will she get us off to a flying start? Just confirming the time allowed here is 70 seconds. A real family affair today in this glorious part of New Jersey, I think that technically we're in, looking back towards Manhattan. And the bell sounds to begin the latest Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix here in the Big Apple. So, initially, yes, we'll come around the first fences near the in-out gate. Coming down from the packed grandstand, round to the Global Champions Tour playoff fronts. Start back to the Liverpool at 3. Looping round to the first double. To that plank. Coming down to another one. That's well ridden through that. Now coming to the combination. Giving everything a bit of a touch, but everything stays in. Crowd applaud that. Got away with it. So this is a very good start. Well, just 3 more efforts to come. That's the yellow taxi fence. What a fence that is, the Manhattan Wall. She pops that, and she's going really well here. This is a fabulous start from Ines Jolie. Well, what a moment for her. This horse finding a way to jump clear. What a magnificent start, and look how pleased she looks here with Crack Degui.
What an incredible start to today's Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix under the watchful eye of Lady Liberty. Ines Jolie, a former LGCT winner, jumps clear. The first of 40 already clear. If you want to watch the rest of today's Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of New York, sign up for your GCTV Live Pass and come join us here at Liberty State Park.